Hi, this is Blake Ibanez.
Hey, this is Nick Stewart.
We're Power Trip.
And you're watching Chaoszine.
Okay, so hello everyone. Chaoszine is today here at the Ice Hall of Helsinki, and I have Blake and Nick from Power Trip as guests. How are you guys?
Terrific. A little sore, but really good.
Sore and good.
And just kicked off a European tour, which you will be playing with the almighty Pantera, which is on stage at the moment. So how does it feel to be getting out with these legends?
Pretty surreal. Being from Dallas, it's a pretty big opportunity for us, and we're really stoked to be here and get this first show under our belt.
How did it go? Like you said, that I guess you haven't had a lot of sleep before the show, but how did it go?
I think it went pretty well. I mean, we still getting used to a lot of things, like, our in-ear monitors and stuff, and we hadn't played together really since August. Hadn't played a proper show, so I think all in all we did pretty good, all things considered. But first show is always a little you're not quite lubed up yet. You know what I mean? So I'm sure we'll
it was
get nice and greased up as it goes on.
Jet lag's still hitting, so we're making adjustments, and but overall for the first show on in-ears for the first time in an arena, I think we had a good time.
Yeah, and people seem to really like it. There was quite a lot of fan reaction as well on the crowd.
Yeah, I think the fans were sick, and there was a pit and a lot of fist pumping, so it was a good show.
So obviously you guys announced in 2023 that you will be coming back after being away for 4 years. So could you tell us, in short, what happened during those 4 years for you?
In short,
yeah,
I don't know if that's possible, but we had some great misfortune, obviously, along with many bands in 2020, with COVID and everything. But we also, we lost our singer and our friend Riley, and it was, it's kind of hard to put into words how shitty that is to lose someone that you kind of grew up with and that you did so much with and that you had such a relationship with. But you learn a lot about your group of people and your friends and who your friends are, and really what's important through adversity like that. And I think after going through all that, we have a lot more, not that we weren't ever grateful, but grateful to be able to play together and continue to play the songs that we wrote, and try to honor and continue what we built. That's kind of the idea here, is just trying to celebrate what happened, because I think everybody, the fans included, kind of felt like the rug was pulled out and there wasn't really much closure, much it was just kind of all tragic, and we're trying to make the story not end that way, and try to just keep this alive, because if we're not playing and if these songs aren't played, or if we're not doing anything, it's just kind of feels like a really bitter way to leave things, and I think the best way to move forward from loss and from all that is to move forward, I guess, and try to make it positive in some way.
Did the metal community overall help you coming back, because they seem to support you quite a lot? You got quite a lot of good sort of push from the metal fans and metal community in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people have understood the situation, and I think they're happy that we're able to play. I mean, there was a long time where we weren't able to do this, and we're actually, we're extremely lucky, because in a lot of ways it shouldn't have been able to happen, but I think we feel like once we felt comfortable enough with what we were doing, and obviously bringing Seth in, and he's the right guy to do it. Obviously it goes without saying that we can never do it the way we did it. You can't replace someone that because they were an individual. They were Riley was obviously a very special singer and talented guy in his own right, but Seth is great in his own ways, and he's also he comes from our world. He grew up with us, and he's always been a part of our our scene and you know our group. And I think you know that was the only way we were going to do it, is if we could kind of find someone that came from our world. You know, we weren't going to hold tryouts on YouTube or anything like that. So, you know, for it to have come together the way it did, I think we're very lucky and very fortunate. So we're just trying to, you know, honor everything we did and you know, keep pushing things forward and you know, sharing this music with the world. You know, I think that's what most people want.
You know, make no mistake, you know, losing Riley was the hardest thing that's ever happened to us as a band and as individuals. And, you know, I don't think any of us have ever dealt with anything like that. And we've been doing this band since we were basically right out of high school. He was in high school even when we started. So, you know, it's all we've ever known. And, you know, losing him was the hardest thing that's ever happened to all of us. I know I can speak for everyone saying that. And we've gone through a lot of shit. And to be here playing tonight and doing these shows and being able to play shows again is a testament to you know, just our grit and like fight, trying to come back and be able to do this, because you know, like he said, you know, there was a void that was left, I think, and we still have work to do, and we're all fucking really good friends, and bringing Seth into the fold is the perfect fit because we've all known him for so long, and I think you know, just to get out there again and do all this stuff is great, and I think it's good for us to do it. So, yeah.
So was it like Seth that was the like final piece for the puzzle that you decided that we will come back, or did you make that decision like already before and then you just like found him to become like the next singer, or how did that happen for you?
It was kind of organic. I mean, I think earlier on, obviously after Riley had passed and, you know, we'd had some time, and obviously we're all kind of trying to pick up the pieces and figure out what to do. You know, obviously I was pretty set on continuing to make music. I think we all were, but, you know, our options were very limited if they even existed. So he was already one of my good friends. We lived really close together, and we started, I think when I had sort of floated the idea of like, hey, would you ever want to like mess around with some of the stuff that we had written for the next Power Trip album? I think it was a little, at that point, a little too soon. And I don't think he was particularly, comfortable taking that on. But we started another band together called Fugitive, and we just started writing together and playing lots of shows. And I think once we established that chemistry in the studio and kind of in song and like performing together, it kind of got to a point where we were having a lot of fun and it was going really well, and I thought he was progressing a lot as a singer too, and getting pushed in directions that he hadn't been pushed before. And I think like once it was kind of clear that he could handle that, and he knew it too, the next time I sort of floated the idea of like, do you want to try to sing these songs or like mess around, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And that was a totally different vibe than when I'd asked him before, which I totally understood, because I was just sort of asking it as a friend, like for fun. It wasn't like a serious thing necessarily. And when I first asked him, I could kind of tell that, okay, it's not the right time. And I don't think it was the right time, but everything sort of came together at a certain time. And, I think this is the best product we could put out there if people want to hear these songs again. And, if they don't want to be a part of it, that's okay too. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but, we're just trying to play songs we wrote. We devoted our lives to doing this band for like, I guess 17 years now. Yeah. And it's like, we're not trying to do anything to offend anybody or to upset anybody. We're just trying to play the songs we wrote. That's it,
Did you
that's
have
as simple as it is.
Like vision vocal wise, what kind of like vocalist would you like to be the Power Trip's like next singer, or did this sort of like naturally fell into place in the end? Or
he kind of comes from the same school, in terms of the sound of vocals that we're into. I mean, he definitely shares some commonalities with Riley, but he's his own singer. He sings some of the songs a little differently. He has different a different tone of his voice a lot of the time, but they sound similar in certain ways, I think, in the right ways, but not he's not a carbon copy. He's his own person.
But you still wanted to have like somebody who has like a little bit similarities, so that
of
you
course.
wouldn't like hop into like totally different.
Yeah, it's got to
direction.
fit and it's got to feel right. But
We
at
also-
the same time, we didn't want someone that was a carbon copy
Yeah.
because then that feels to us disingenuous. You know, I like that.
Endless amount of comparisons.
Yeah, and I mean there always will be, and you know, I don't. We're not really here for the comparisons. You know, it feels good to us. I think it fits. I think most people agree that it does, and you know whether or not it's it's not up to me whether what the people's ultimate final decision is, but you know, I think in this day and age, I'd rather have more bands existing and that if I like them than not, you know, so because there's not a ton of bands, so you know, we're trying our best, and I think this is we feel good about this one, you know.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, we're never trying to make a direct replacement of Riley. Riley was a great singer and lyricist and a super talented dude, and you know, we never were trying to come up with this carbon copy of Riley. I think Seth is his own voice, and also just a great friend of ours, and we always wanted to keep it kind of in the family of friends we've known for a long time, and it just organically worked out that way. I think we tried some other different options with maybe some people that weren't involved in like our group of friends, and it just you know, I think we've always done things like within our circle, and it worked for Seth to be that guy. So
Was it also important for you that you got sort of like Riley's family's support, that you are like sort of okay to continue?
I think it would have been great to have support from every angle, but I wouldn't really say it was, you know, it would have been nice to have that. I wouldn't really say that in the end that it was like a deciding factor, because ultimately, like I said before, I mean, everything we went through and all the adversity we experienced, you know, that was kind of forced upon us, showed us who people really were and how they felt about us. And, you know, people, like I said, are entitled to their own opinions and their own feelings. And, you know, not everybody's going to, you know, agree with what you want to do. And I think now everything's okay. And, you know, seems like everything's all right. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, these are the songs we wrote. You know, this is the band that we built. And, you know, we can make our own decisions. We don't need approval from anybody.
I just want to put this on record. We did not initially get a lot of support, and we went through complete hell for a long time. It wasn't easy, and this band couldn't do anything for a long time because of a lot of things that were happening. So I would say the support initially from anyone was not there, and you know, I think it took a long time for people to realize that, you know, this is a band and there's a lot of guys involved, and we all spent a lot of time in our lives to get here.
Yeah, it's basically your life if you are in a band.
This band is not one person, and I think that ultimately, you know, we all deserve respect in that matter. So
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, it's like, it was always, you know, there were people, bad actors, you know, and people that wanted to make it about themselves and try to create narratives that it was, you know, us against him, which is, you know, insane. You know, we were an active band and toured together all the time, played together all the time. We're brothers, and tragedy hits, and all of a sudden, you know, you have people that are trying to stay relevant and trying to, you know, take a narrative on to serve themselves and to be a part of the story, you know, and it's just, you know, you don't even want to address those people. You have no idea what you're talking about. But all that being said, you know, again, I don't need a permission to play songs that I wrote, you know, riffs that I wrote, music that I spent hours writing. So, you know, none of these guys need fucking any permission.
Was it like emotional experience to play that first show with Seth and just like sort of start from clean table in a way again?
yeah, super emotional. I think again we went through a lot, all of us together. It's the hardest 4 years of our life. There's no doubt about it. So just being able to get up there and play at all was, you know, and we kind of put this thing together with a little surprise set thing. It was a kind of a last minute thing. So it wasn't like it was sitting there for a while, like we were planning on this. It kind of came together last minute. So I think once we got up there and started kind of playing a couple of songs, we only played like 4, but with Seth, and it was just, ultimately it was just it's a lot of emotions, I think, and ultimately just we were just happy to be able to play it all. I think there was plenty of times in that, and after the COVID and what we went through before we got back, that we were like, we'll never play again. There's no way, you know. And so, so when we did get to play at all, it was very emotional, I think, for everybody. And you know, there's a lot of things that went into that at the time. I mean, you know, first things first, you know, you're playing a show again, and your singer's not there, and that was tough. You know, losing a band member and a friend, and then you have Seth comes in here, and I mean, the weight of the world is on his shoulders to deliver the songs vocally, you know, and so it was a lot, man. Yeah, it was really emotional.
So was it also like in a way very inspiral that you just get back on the machine again, and was that something that sparked you to write like new music as well, or did that take some time before you sort of like got everything in and processed everything? And
you know, like you know, after everything happened in 2020, I mean, we were looking for something to do. I mean, me and Ulsh were we finished up some music the music we had written for the Power Trip album, and it went and recorded a bunch of stuff, and you know, just kind of sat on it. And we're like, maybe someone will sing on this one day, and ultimately it didn't really happen. But you know, after that sort of got shelved, that's when all this stuff kind of happened with Seth and us playing again. And I think right now, you know, we're just enjoying being back on stage together. Like I said, we played 5 or 6 shows.
Or 6 shows.
Now we're out here with Pantera, which we didn't expect to tour or to get invited to do anything like this. So as soon as we, you know, to be able to be afforded an opportunity like this after, you know, not even being able to step on a stage for years is amazing. You know, we're very fortunate. So we're just trying to enjoy being back together and playing again. And, you know, who knows? I mean, I think at some point, obviously, we'll want to go back to all that stuff and maybe consider doing something with it. But I mean, I think right now, you know, we've just been kind of approaching every step like, how does this feel? How does this feel? And so far, everything's been good, you know. So I'm not really.
It's basically like baby steps and
yeah, like
small things at a time. And
yeah, I mean,
we haven't toured in 5 years.
Yeah.
We weren't even expecting to tour. I think this kind of popped up, and you know, you're not gonna say no to it. So.
This is one of those things that you don't say no to.
You don't say no to this.
Everything that we've done has been step by step and not forced. So, you know, we took 4 years basically to decide if we wanted to play again. And until the right situation arose, we didn't, you know, and we wouldn't have done it if it wasn't right, or if it didn't feel right, or if it wasn't, you know, done the right way in our eyes. So, you know, like we're going to apply that to everything we do, you know. So if we decide to work on new music and it sounds really good and it works and it feels like, you know, Power Trip and all that, then maybe we'll do that, you know. But we just want to do things the right way and do it our way, and I have confidence that we'll make all those decisions the right way. And you know, we want to, again, we're not trying to jump into another phase right now. We're trying to play all the songs that we wrote in the past, and you know, honor what we did obviously with Riley, and continue to play the songs that are, you know, we miss playing those songs, you know, and they're great, you know, and we love what he did and everything that we did in that whole era. So we're not running away from that anytime soon. You know, we're just trying to enjoy playing the songs again and remember, you know, thinking about all the memories. Like we always, when we're together now, we just talk about tours we did and things we did, funny memories and times we had together. And like, we didn't get to do that for a long time, you know, and like being out back here in Finland, it's like talking about, you know, having our friends like from 4C come out and talk about like shows we played together and fun things we did. I mean, it makes us really happy to be able to do that, you know. So
it took so much to get here.
Yeah.
So just to be able to do this is, you know, I can't put it into words. It's unbelievable. We get to we're in this position right now, and like I said, we climbed a mountain to get back here and to be able to be a band again. So, like he said, we're just having a good time right now. We're trying to play some shows, and this is the 6th show we've played. I mean, obviously we're going to play a lot this year. We got a lot of stuff lined up, but you know, we want to take it step by step and get through this next chapter of stuff we're doing, and then assess after that, you know.
But is it gonna be like more slow, or are you gonna like now try put like full speed on, or do you take it like day by day in a way still?
It's like an organic thing. I mean,
yeah.
I think you know, let's get through this stuff and let's play these shows and experience this again and make sure it feels right for everybody. And you know, everybody gets older, you know, things happen, life happens, so you know, some of us got wives and kids now and stuff, and we just want to make sure that everybody's feeling good. And if we think it will, but we just haven't done it in a long time, So 5 years ago was a lot different than now, Things change day by day, so we're just excited to be doing this again, and we're gonna just take it one step at a time, slowly, like we have, and just calculate it and assess when we get to, later in the year.
So before we wrap things up, a little bit about the future. So how does it look like?
We have a handful of shows. Like I think we have some after we get back from this tour. I think in May we have some stuff, some different shows, like some festivals and whatnot, and then might be back out here in June in Europe doing some festivals. Haven't really totally sorted that out yet, but
stuff pops up.
Stuff pops up. Yeah, I mean, like, well,
things are kind of happening,
doing stuff like that. Just kind of when we can and when it feels right, when it's the right time to do it, and we just kind of see where things go, But so far we've been having fun, and we got a long haul ahead of us on this tour. We got like 38 more days or 30, something like that.
It's a long run.
It's a long one, and luckily we got our friends here. We got our crew, and we got we're comfortable. So we never got a tour like this before, so it makes it a lot easier, especially since we haven't done it in like 5 years. So far everything's going well.
This is Dallas, Texas shit right here.
It is.
It's Pantera Power Trip. This is fucking awesome.
It is.
I told it.
Agree.
I was talking to my buddy Brian Slagle the other day, and I was like, this is the biggest fucking tour metal that Dallas has ever had, probably. So we're excited, man. We're just really stoked, and it's day one, and we're already having a good time, and we're really excited to get this show going, and it's all good vibes right now. These are all our fucking best friends hanging out together, and it's beautiful.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys, for taking the time
you.
to do this with me, and all the best for the future. Anything you want to say to the fans as a closure?
I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been there for us, real fans, people that have supported us, and it's like we will never forget the way people looked out for us, and the people who didn't do that,
fuck you.
Got nothing for you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
All our buddies and fans that have reached out to us individually as a band, thank you so much. Like, it doesn't go unnoticed, and we're really thankful for that, and excited to get out there and meet a bunch of people that probably haven't seen us before, and play these songs, and thank you for the support. It's been overwhelming.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.